What's so great about it is that it's very unpredictable. You don't know what Pearl's going to do next. There are some moments where it got really uncomfortable, but again, like that was what happened in X, and that's why it worked for certain scenes. Hey guys, welcome back to Canon Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX ND Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today I will be reviewing the new T West film, Pearl. Now, to start this off, I did not like X whatsoever. I felt like they had really strong themes at the beginning. Love the cast. Again, Mia Goth is an absolute superstar, but then I felt like the third act kind of fell apart for me. I didn't know why they were going that route. I liked that they addressed ageism in the third act, but it just felt a bit disjointed in the middle, and that's why the third act fell apart for me. It just didn't click. However, with Pearl, I think the old-timey classic Hollywood vibe that T West was going for really worked. I mean, the colors were absolutely beautiful. There was like this glossy type of feel to each and every scene, and it felt like an old-fashioned story of a young girl who's, on this farm with her family, taking care of her family, and she wants to be a star. I know that sounds very generic, but it's just elevated by how twisted Pearl is as a character. And I think that's why this worked for me. This is essentially a character piece to dive into the psyche of the old woman in X, and it just adds so much to the film itself. I'm really happy that T West did it in this order, because at the end of Pearl, there's a little snippet of Mia Goth's character in X, Maxine, and then that's going to be the third installment to this little trilogy that T West decided to do and spring on us. I think that the way that they did this was really special. So you have X, you set the tone of two different characters before and after, and their trajectory about, what be the meaning of being a woman and achieving your goals and having this ambition. And I think it's three different layers. And Maxine's going to be really interesting to watch because of what Mia Goth did in Pearl. What I love the most about Pearl is that Mia Goth is unhinged. She goes for it. And the character of Pearl, she's rather complex because she knows that there's something wrong with her. She can't place it. She has this darkness inside of her, and she's living in a very strict household. She has a sick father. Her mom is she's like a police officer in her own house, doesn't let her really go out much because it's in the middle of the Spanish influenza, so it's much like it's a pandemic. And it was interesting to see masks on screen being worn, and the fear of bringing in the influenza into the household. So there were little references like that I found interesting, because you barely see that on screen now. So for him to incorporate it in a different way was really cool. And then you had Pearl, who was performing for animals, but she just wanted attention. She was very attention seeking. She just wanted people to like her. She wanted people to love her. So she thinks that by being a star and achieving that level of stardom, that she will be loved fully and unconditionally. And I think that it's kind of heartbreaking at the same time. And there's so many moments where you find Pearl endearing and sweet, and you just want her to succeed because she is a farm girl and she wants to go to the big city and be a stage performer, be on the movie screen. It's just the same for everyone. Everyone has those ambitions. Everyone has wanted to be a movie star at one point, so you can kind of relate to her. And I think that's where it's so grounded, even though T West and Mia Goth take it to another level entirely in this movie. What's so great about it is that it's very unpredictable. You don't know what Pearl's going to do next. There are some moments where it got really uncomfortable, but again, like that was what happened in X, and that's why it worked for certain scenes. This one in particular, you understand Pearl even more because she doesn't have love in her life, and she doesn't know how to get love in her life. So she'll get it in different forms and label it as love. And I think that that's really interesting for this character moving forward too, considering that she did have a husband. She had Howard, but he was a soldier. He was away at war, and she lost her sense of self because he was supposed to take her away after they got married and away from the farm. But then what ends up happening between Pearl and her mother is just one of the best scenes of the year, to be perfectly honest. It made me remember the scene in Hereditary, and I normally don't compare things, but that scene in Hereditary and the scene in Pearl, you'll understand if you watch it. It's just so strong. It's so well written. You have a phenomenal build-up with a thunderstorm happening outside. It is just one of the best dinner scenes. And I just really loved how layered of a performance of a character that Pearl became because of Mia Goth. There is a very long monologue, and it is just so incredible to watch Mia Goth go through a wave of emotions in such a short period of time and actually express her feelings, because she has expressed it physically everywhere else, but she has never really expressed how she truly feels. And that monologue is such a pivotal moment for the character, pivotal moment for the movie itself, to fully understand who she is and what's making her tick and what's like working in her mind. And it's brilliant. It is fantastic. I gave Pearl a 4 out of 5. I really liked it. It does get a bit slow towards the middle, but then it does pick up, and it's just fantastic. The end credits with Mia Goth, just, oh my God. What excellent work from that girl. She was fantastic. I'm really excited for Maxine. But yes, I gave Pearl a 4 out of 5. If anyone wants to know, I gave X a 2.5 out of 5. So I really liked Pearl, and I'm hoping Maxine sticks the landing as well. I think that if I go back to watch X after Pearl, then I'll gain a new appreciation and bump up those stars. So if you guys enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed X more than Pearl or Pearl more than X. Let me know if you think that Mia Goth deserves an Oscar nomination, because we need to get horror back in the Academy. You guys can always follow me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep watching movies.